lahat po ng classification, M, ECQ, GCQ, at MGCQ, kinakailangan homeliners po tayo. Bawal lumabas unless para po sa mga indispensable na mga pangangailangan natin at o di naman po kaya para magtrabaho doon sa mga industriya na pinapayagan na. Bawal po lumabas ang mga under 21 at ang mga seniors, ang mga meron pong sakit, yung comorbidity sa tinatawag, at yung mga buntis. Pero sa MECQ po, nakasarado po ang ating ekonomiya pa rin. Mga 25% lang po ng mga industriya ang bukas. Ang pupwede lang po ay yung mga indispensable industries, gaya po ng mga bangko, supermarket, at saka yung mga BPOs, mga export-oriented industries, at wala po tayong public gathering, wala tayong mass assembly. Ang religious services po hanggang 5 lamang, no? At wala nga po tayong transportasyon, kinakailangan yung mga bukas na industriya, mag-provide po sila ng mga shuttle at saka mga PCP, point-to-point transportation. Pero mananatili pong sarado yung mga matataong mga negosyo, gaya po ng sinihan, yung mga amusement, yung mga para sa mga pambata. Pero meron na po tayong transportasyon sa GCQ, 20% hanggang 50%. No? Yung mga opisina po ng gobyerno na importante po, critical, nagbubukas na rin po. No? Ang mga industry po na allowed na po sa GCQ, halos lahat naman po except po yung mga matatao. Pero sa mga gatherings po, hanggang 10 tao lang po or 10%. No? At dito nga po sa Metro Manila, nakiusap ang mga mayor sa mga religious gatherings hanggang 10 katao lang po. At pagdating naman po dito sa MGCQ, unang-una po ang malaking pagkakaiba dyan, meron pong transportasyon, at bukod pa po dyan, 50% po pwede nang magkaroon ng public gathering. Pwede na po yung mga sinihan, yung mga concerts, mga sporting events, pero hanggang 50% capacity lang po at kasama po dyan yung mga religious gatherings. So ang turismo po, bukas na rin po sa MGCQ. So para pong halos lahat naman ng industriya nabubuksan na, kaya lang po linilimitan natin yung mga taong po pwedeng magtipon-tipon hanggang 50% lamang po. Salamat po.
Elect to call Secretary Duque of the Department of Health.
Magandang gabi po, Mr. President and Ginoong Senator Bongo at ang aking po mga kasama sa kabinete. Ang aking po i-report ngayon ay ang updates on COVID-19. As of August 31, may nadagdag na mahigit 3,000 kaso or 3,446 new cases. Sa nadagdag, next slide please, sa nadagdag na 3,446 cases, 2,965 ay fresh cases at 481 ay late cases. Kung titignan po ang mga naitalang daily cases, sir, lagpas pa rin siya sa median at 75 percentile lines na nangangahulugan. Mataas pa rin ang ating daily cases per day at kinakailangan pang paigtingin ang ating mga preventive measures upang mapigilan ang patuloy na pagtaas ng mga kaso. Subalit, aming pong napansin na meron pong pagbaba ng kaso mula nung tayo ay bumalik sa modified enhanced community quarantine. At dito po, we have breached the 7-day doubling time at andun po tayo sa mga 12 to 13 days doubling time. Nagpapasalamat din po tayo sa ating po mga doktor, mga nurses, ang ating po mga healthcare workers dahil po sa kanilang matapat na paninilbihan ay gumanda po ang kanilang pagkalinga at paggamot ng ating pong mga severe and critical cases. Kanya naman po ay we have managed to keep our death rates at a relatively low level. Makakaasa po ang ating healthcare workers na ating binabantayan ng kanilang health and safety at maraming salamat po Mr. President dahil yung pong kanilang allowance, yung pong kanilang health life insurance, accommodation, transportation, ay ito po yung inyong iniutos at nakasama na po ito sa Bayanihan Act 2. At pati po yung pagbibigay ng 15,000 piso para doon po sa mga may mild cases. Sa larangan naman po ng human resource, next slide. As of August 30, 2020, nakapag-deploy tayo ng 21,934 health personnel for COVID-19 response. Priority health facilities na nangangailangan ng mga health personnel for COVID-19 response ay nabigyan ng 378 post-residency deployed physicians, 1,396 redeployed nurses under the DOH HRH deployment program, at 7,388 health personnel hired through emergency process. Yung pong aking mga susunod na report ay aking po ipapasa with your permission, Mr. President, kay Spokes Secretary Harry Roque for the community quarantine classification.
Mayor, ang recommendation po ng inyong IATF ay ipasailalim sa modified ECQ ang syudad ng Iligan. Recommendation din po nila na ipasailalim sa General Community Quarantine ang National Capital Region, ang probinsya ng Bulacan, ang probinsya ng Batangas, ang City of Tacloban at ang City of Bacolod. Ang iba pa pong parte ng Pilipinas, ang rekomendasyon po ay ipasailalim sa modified GCQ.
Any other? Are you through with your report, Secretary?
We're done, Mr. President. Thank you, sir.
Who's next? Secretary Luis.
Sir, to support the report of our Secretary of DOH, we have remaining focus areas na tinitingnan po natin, mahal na Presidente. Ito po yung NCR with 17 LGUs, yung Calabarzon, kasama po ang Cavite, Laguna, Rizal, and Batangas. Yung Central Luzon, kasama po ang Bulacan, Pampanga, Bataan, Zambales. Sa Zambales po, meron pong po sa Masinloc. Pero kayang-kaya po ni Governor Abdani po at nag-usap na po kami. Sa Western Visayas, sa Iloilo City, Iloilo, Negros, Bacolod. Sa Bacolod po, sir, tinulungan po natin yun, yung City Mayor doon, si Mayor Bing. Nagpadala po tayo ng through the BioCare, nagpadala po tayo ng 400 na remdesivir at saka meron po tayong 2,000 na PPE. And then nagpa-deploy din po tayo ng 5 high-flow nasal cannula. Dahil po kailangan po nila dahil kasi may mga severe cases po doon. So natuwa na po si Mayor Bing dahil mabilis po yung ating kasi po nag-usap po kami ng Secretary po ng SBG na mapabilis po yung yung transport at nagpapasalamat po kami kay Secretary Del na napadala po kaagad yung kailangan po ng mga gamot para po doon sa critical doon sa Bacolod City. Mahal na Pangulo, pumunta rin po ako sa Northern Luzon. Binisita ko rin po yung Northern Mindanao, yung Cagayan de Oro. Tumaas po yung kaso ng Iligan City at nagpapasalamat din po ako kay Mayor po na Oka Moreno na tinutulungan niya po yung Iligan. So yun po ang ginagawa po natin, pinag-ano po natin yung ating mga mayors lalo na dito sa NCR, nagtutulungan din po sila. So yun po ang ginagawa po natin. Then tumawag rin po si Mayor Beng Climaco, nag-text po siya, kailangan niya po ng test kit, so magpapadala rin po tayo dahil kasi tumataas din po yung kaso niya because of the LSI at saka po yung mga importations at saka may mga local transmission na po siya doon. And then marami po tayong i-construct, sir, na ang ang target po natin, expand po natin ang capacity natin sa ating mga hospitals na more or less 1,000 po na additional beds. So may expansion po tayong ginagawa sa PGH, meron po tayong expansion sa Rizal Hospital, meron din po tayo sa Quezon Institute at sa iba pang mga hospital dito sa Metro Manila na more or less 1,000 na beds po ang po natin doon. Kasi pagka nagplano po tayo magluwag sa ekonomiya, kailangan po talaga palakasin po natin ang ang treatment facility po natin, especially po yung ICU at ating mga ER. At the same time, palakasin din po natin yung treatment capacity po ng, lalo na po ng Metro Manila at saka yung mga centers na nakikita po natin na pagka nag-open po ay may possibility po na umangat po ang mga severe cases. Sa ngayon po, natutuwa po kami dahil kasi sa pagbisita po namin sa mga ospital, nakita po namin talaga na yung ating mga doktor at saka mga nurses, wala pong tigil ang kanilang pagtatrabaho. At ngayon nga po, dahil National Heroes Day, po si Secretary Loresana na nagbigay po siya ng statement supporting our healthcare workers na alam natin sila ang inaasahan nating mga heroes today because sila po so nagbigay po kami ng joint statement in support of our health workers. Maraming salamat po, mahal na Presidente.
Ito minsan pinapalayas nila mga health workers, mga nurses, mga boarding houses, and those working in the hospitals. They are summarily dismissed from the residence, whether it is leased, rented, or yan ang kakaano ng loob. Kaya itong mga to, we must have a mechanism. Saluin natin ito nito. We can always rent. Maraming bakanting hotel ngayon. Total, utangin lang natin. Total, mababayaran naman yan. Like to make this announcement. Po kayong lahat na mga health workers na pinapaalis sa mga inyong tinitirahan. Tama ba yung mga bahay? You're renting a room or a house or whatnot. Pero dahil nga nasa frontliner ka sa COVID, pinapaalis kayo because of the fear, unfounded, na mahawa ninyo ang may-ari ng mga bahay at yung mga kasamahan ninyo sa mga dormitoryo. If this happens, you can call directly the office of Secretary Galvez, and we will provide you with the necessary billeting and pati pagkain na. And we will choose a place nearest to where you are working. Sabi mo lang ang pangalan ng yung may-ari ng building, may-ari ng boarding house, may-ari ng at I will call their attention publicly so that kung sila ang magkasakit, huwag na silang tanggapin sa ospital rin. Parang ganun. Mabuti siguro. Tit for tat. Well, anyway, I'm joking, but it's something that is not really a positive move. That you are suffering, and we are experiencing a lack of everything. We are trying to make up for the deficiencies, and luckily the Philippines was able to at least meet halfway of what was the expectations of the people. Yan sana, maawa naman ako sa mga tao na nagtumutulong tapos pinapaalis. Hindi ho maganda pakinggan. So it behoves in this government to do something about it. To do something about it, we will find a house, a hotel, a motel. Ang motel buhay yan. Ang hotel ang wala. But ang motel full house yan. Hindi na naniniwala ng COVID yan mga animal na yan. Hotel, tsaka we will treat you decently. The long and short of it is, parang tao ka. And since you are there, I said, obligasyon ng gobyerno na tumulong. Now, before I call the next speaker, pakilala ko lang sa inyo yung bagong ko na PhilHealth, si Giran. He was the retired director of the NBI. Si Giran, he is a lawyer and an accountant. So, palagay ko, sabi ko sa kanya, the next 2 years will be devoted to fight against corruption. Maghanap kayo ng makakulong natin para may maiwan tayo sa kulungan ng mga, sabi ko, I'll give you, just like the NBI, and customs. I called Jagger, si Guerrero dito, commissioner. Sabi ko sa kanya, I want to see a reshuffle of the different regional offices within the next 2 or 3 days. That goes for the NBI, pati PhilHealth. Yung mga tao na ayaw tanggalin, bigay mo yung pangalan nila. I will send them a memorandum. I will ask them to report to me dito sa Malacañang. Total, pagkatapos wala naman ang gamit nito. I will ask them to do a research on how not to serve a government properly. That should be yung thesis na. How not to serve the government properly. You study on that, and yung lahat ng regional vice president, tanggalin ninyo, whether performing at par or in parity with the other good ones. If they are there for so long a time, the element of familiarity always enters the picture. Yan ang mahirap dyan. Kung matagal na, tanggalin na. Yung ayaw magtanggal, ayaw magpatanggal, mag-report kayo dito sa opisina. And anyway, the Secretary of Justice is winding up his investigation. I think that he has seen proof enough to come up with an indictment. I hope that this sad episode in our national life, in our journey towards nation building, will be somehow corrected. Wala na bang ibang magsalita? Delphine, then next is. Tapos, we'll reserve the last slot for the incoming health. Mukhang matapang to. Ang hairline, hati na lang. Mahusay na to. Must be studious. Sige, Del, it can proceed.
Magandang gabi, Ginoong Presidente. 3 bagay lang po. Una, yung ating repatriation ng OFWs, tuloy-tuloy pa rin.
Yes.
Na-stabilize na po natin yan. Ang average natin ngayon is 1,500. Ang total po na dumating so far since April is 174,000 na. So, okay lang po yun. Dumating na po yung third batch ng ating mga namatay sa Middle East, 72, nung weekend. 62 po yung COVID-related, yung 10 hindi COVID-related. Yung third batch din po ng mga Pilipinong umuwi galing sa Sabah, dumating na nung 2 days ago, 379. na-testing na po sila doon sa Sabah bago umalis. COVID-free po sila lahat. Karamihan po dito ay nakatira sa Tawi-Tawi, Hulu at saka Basilan. Kunting Zamboanga. So okay lang po yung ating mga repatriation. Salamat po. Yun lang po.
Well, if there is one thing that we have shown a consistent behavior, it's really our treatment in the matter of receiving our returning fellow Filipinos from abroad. Lalo na nung pumutok ang COVID, everything has closed down. Dito, nawala ng trabaho, mas lalo sila noon. Ang problema kasi mas malayo sila, mas kulang ang pera. Now, we have to intervene, and I am not, hindi ako ganito, but I am not prone to just throw away praises, but yung trabaho model was really a good one, and I'd like to thank you for it. Ma'am, Secretary of Education, Secretary Brunes.
I would like to brief you, Mr. President, on the recent directives which you issued, wherein you specifically mentioned the Department of Education. But before that, ano ang status ngayon ng enrollment natin? People were saying, especially the left and the opposition, that nobody will enroll because of COVID, and they were calling for academic freeze, kuno. But right now, Mr. President, as of this morning, abot na ng 23.9 million learners ang nag-enroll.
Really?
Yes. Every day may humahabol, no? And regional target natin, sabi namin, kung makuha lang natin 80% of last year's enrollment because of COVID and the downturn in the economy, okay na yan. Yun ang aming commitment sa NEDA. Pero ngayon, it's already 86.8% of last year's numbers. Ang public school natin, Mr. President, 97% na of last year's enrollment nakuha natin. I'd also like to report, Mr. President, kasi we are introducing, and thank you for mentioning in your SONA, the approach to learning which we are initiating, yung distance education as well as blended learning. Sabi namin, i-dry run namin, i-simulate namin, kasi ngayon lang ito nangyayari na aside from online platforms, we will be using TV, we're going to use radio, in addition to printed materials. So, umabot na ng 516 schools all over the country, nag-dry run, at nakita natin ang mga challenges na ko-correct kaagad. So, ang challenge na remaining, Mr. President, are the learners from the private sector. Kasi 43% pa lang ang mga learners from the private sector ang nakabalik. But we believe that with the opening of the economy, makakuha na uli ng trabaho ang mga parents, ang OFWs, may trabaho na sila. Kasi karamihang OFWs usually send their children to private schools, small or big private schools. At saka yung alternative learning, yung mga nagtatrabaho, they go to school at night, they go to school on weekends. Dahil wala silang trabaho, siyempre yun ang hinaharap nila. So, ito ang unti-unti na ngayong dumadami. Tapos, last August 24, Mr. President, sinabi ninyo sa Davao that itong problems natin, itong challenge of yung sinasabi nating psychosocial challenges, sinabi ninyo that we must be able to refer them to a particular entity or person where they can ask for deliverance. Sino kayang mabuti? Ang sabi ninyo, and we are very touched and humbled by your statement, mabuti pa ang mga teachers. They have a stronger sense of responsibility because of their training sa kapwa-tao. So, dalawa yung directives na ginawa ninyo, specifically na-mention ninyo ang Department of Education. Una, yung August 24 na nagsabi kayo that we should exert more efforts in strengthening yung mental health ng ating mga youth, not only the youth but also our teachers. Pangalawang directive na nakalap namin, when your national budget proposal was submitted last Tuesday to Congress, may mention din ang sa Department of Education, including the name of the Secretary of Education, na kailangan i-capacitate ang educators, ang teachers, para tulungan ang mga bata at mga teachers for basic health literacy skills. Nandoon din yon sa budget proposal ninyo. Kaya i-report namin. Now, on the matter, Mr. President, of itong psychosocial problems which have emerged, so far, sa mga bata, sa aming K-12 learners, isa ang kaso na talagang documented na makita natin na may relasyon sa COVID. Na sinasabing dahil sa COVID, nag-suicide itong bata. Pero paniwala namin, Mr. President, na ang malaking challenge ngayon sa psychosocial conditions ng ating mga tao sa gobyerno, mga bata, mga teachers, yung general mental health issues. Yung anxiety, Mr. President, hindi naman nagsisicide ang mga tao araw-araw, pero yung anxiety, yung takot, at saka yung fears, lumalabas ko minsan yung mga behavior na usually not typical of Filipinos, na nangangaway, mga relationships na sisira, mga bata, lumalaban sa mga parents and so on. Kasama na yung fear sa disease, fear sa walang trabaho, lahat-lahat na ito. Ito ang mas malaking problema para sa amin dahil kung sa suicide, isa pa lang ang aming na monitor at na trace talaga namin, na document. So yung tinatawag natin, Mr. President, na mental resilience ang kailangan, ang challenge. Ngayon, nag-initiate kami, may program kami na mental health and psychosocial support services. Talagang right from the beginning, mayroon na kaming programang ganito, Mr. President, na kailangan i-increase ang physical, ang mental health, resilience ng ating mga learners, ng ating mga teachers, parents, and citizens. Lahat natatakot, lahat anxious, at saka lumalabas yung mga kuminsan hindi magagandang mga behavior. Yung dahil sa order ninyo, sa inyong directive last August 24, nasi-strengthen yung efforts namin. So, nag-partner kami with the Psychological Association of the Philippines. Dahil ang problema nito, Mr. President, hindi lamang sa learners, sa teachers din, sa staff, sa regional directors. Kanina nga sinabi ko kanina sa aming press conference na sinasabi natin we are celebrating national heroes. But I would nominate the person in government as a hero. Ang tao sa gobyerno, trabaho ng trabaho, kinakantyawan, inaaway, binabastos, ina-accuse of corruption, pero sige pa rin ang sige. At walang nagagawa ang isang tao sa gobyerno na nagbigay ng katuwaan naman sa mga sa ilang mga sektor. Parang wala kang magagawa to make people satisfied. And it takes heroism to continue serving under such circumstances na talagang ma-wear down kayo. So, kasama namin ang Save the Children, ang UNICEF, Philippine Academy of Occupational Therapists, Humanity and Inclusion, and the Northfield Foundation of the Philippines. So, insofar as yung sinasabi naming psychosocial issues are concerned, July pa kami nag-umpisa. Araw-araw we have programs kasi wala pa namang klase, naghahanda pa naman kami para sa opening ng classes. In the meantime, yung psychosocial aspects, upskilling. Dati, Mr. President, may guidance counselor. Pero ang guidance counselor para lang sa learners. Pero ang teacher kailangan din. Ang regional director kailangan din. Ang undersecretary kailangan din na mabigyan siya ng recognition. Oo, na parang wala silang ginagawa kundi magnakaw, maabuso, they are inefficient, etc. And in the meantime, hindi sila kasama sa listahan ng heroes. Kaya kanina sinabi ko kasama ang government person. Kasi yung pagtitiis na talagang hindi naman siguro makaya ng mga nakaupo lang at saka nagbabantay. No? Ang second directive ninyo, ang una yung sinabi ninyo, yung mental health. No? Ang second na directive ninyo, yung lumabas sa budget proposal ninyo na sinubmit last Tuesday na nag-mandate kayo sa Department of Education na i-enrich ang ating curriculum on health literacy naman, kabuo ang health, no? So, inaano din namin, binabago natin ang ating health education curriculum. Kaya pinapasok natin yung health literacy, binabago ang ating curriculum, at saka mayroon kaming programa, and Secretary Duque is very familiar with this yung WASH Sanitation and Hygiene Program, para magkaroon ng good hygiene practices. Pero this is also connected to nutrition and also wellness habits. Kaya ang Department of Education is also very active in the anti-smoking campaign. Noon pa, talaga ang Department of Education sa anti-smoking at saka, of course, sa anti-drugs, nandyan yan palagi. So yung curriculum binabago namin, at saka yung school-based feeding program. Kasi ang school-based feeding program natin ay nakadirect sa yung tinatawag na wasted at saka mga undernourished. Pero kung sana dadating ang panahon na lahat na bata matulungan natin. Kasi nagiging status issue ito. Ang mga bata na qualified silang pakainin sa wasted, etc., nahihiya sila. Kaya hindi sila kumakain kasi nakikita nila na yung ibang bata masarap ang ulam, magandang tingnan yung kanilang mga baonan, etc., etc. So, i-expand natin ito. Ang sabi nga, paano na yung feeding program ninyo na wala namang klase? So, we're working with the local governments.
Well, go ahead, but they're doing a good job.
Thank you very much.
My nanay also was one social thinker at the time. Ako ang na-social. Ako ang nabaliktad, naging social problem. I hope. My mother was also one of the advocates yung gano'n ng iwanan yung pamilya. She would always nag my father to come up with a program to intervene sa
Usually, yung mga may problems na gano'n na yung ganong klaseng behavior, matitrace sa family relationships na iniwanan, tapos mga, as I said, yung confusion about their identity, at saka
this is not
ano-anong tinuturo sa kanila.
this is not an indictment of the male species dito. Pero itong putang na Pilipino na to, they just live together without benefit of a marriage, create a family, maybe a family home. Ang mga problema nitong unggoy nito, kasi because they are not beholden, unless those who are really with the conscience, kasi wala mang kasal, iniiwanan lang ang mga pamilya. Yan ang gusto ko talagang patayin. So I want to bring the DDS here, pero mahalata eh. Yan ang gusto kong patayin mo kung pagkawalang. Diyan ako galit sa mga ganon. Totoo lang. Tapos mabugbog pa. Kaya yan, pagdating sa akin, bugbog bugbog rin abutin sa akin.
Saka yung violence sa family, isa din yun sa causes ng dysfunctional behavior yung oo. Kasi kung anong
Kita.
nakita
He will do.
gagawin nila. So, yun lang, Mr. President, yung dalawang bagay, yung mental health at saka yung health literacy
Yes.
na isama namin sa curriculum namin.
Mental health is
sinasama
closer to
namin.
my heart because my mother spent her lifetime onto it. So, they just give me memo na lang tayo para kung madalian. To, from, gano'n na lang.
Yes,
To remind me
yes, Mr. President. Thank
para
you.
madalian dito. I'm more, my administration has always been more on sa tao. Sa tao ako, hindi ako sa yung grandiose din. Ang ano ko talaga is, siguro I just learned it also from my father. Ganun ang ano niya. So, who's next? Wala na? Senyor Giran, your time, what will you do with the corrupt officials of PhilHealth?
Good evening, sir.
Go ahead, mag-ihi lang ako.
And of course, Senator Bongo, and the rest of lone lady, and the rest, and of course, the honorable gentleman here. Good evening sa atin lahat. First, I've been hearing about, or rather, I've been listening about hearings conducted by the two chambers in Congress, Senate, and the House of Representatives. I was really aghast about the sorry state of PhilHealth. Corruption here and there. The investigation is not yet over, but Senate has indicated that they will render a report next week, and there will be cases filed. The NBA is also investigating it. They know the gargantuan task of doing the job of the leader of PhilHealth. But I don't know why they pursue with it. As a matter of fact, I did not apply for the position because I know it's a very tough job. But you know, as just like a good soldier, just like General Galvez, and for Secretary of National Defense, I'm also a good soldier. I'm one who would not back out from a mission. And this is a mission. I know it's a huge mission. And I am consoled by the fact that this early, there have been supports coming in. First, the gentleman here, he was telling me he will act as a consultant pro bono. And then there is Senator Bongo who told me that he will support me. Sabi niya, Dante Tol, gusto ko ibalik ang pera ng taong bayan sa kanila. At pag may naimbestigahan ka dyan, at saka may mga loko-loko dyan, putulin mo yung kamay nila.
Gano'n ang salita ang NBI?
Di po, si Senator Bongo po, sir. So, and I have a lot of text messages here supporting me for the position, for the assigned task. And all I have to do is to restore the trust and confidence of our people to PhilHealth. Restoring the trust and confidence of our people to PhilHealth is equivalent to restoring the trust and confidence to our government, to the governance. And Senator Bongo was telling me, I have to strike a balance between improving the PhilHealth services to our people and addressing the perennial issues of deeply rooted corruption in the PhilHealth. And for this, sir, Mr. President, I would say for another, thank you very much for giving me the privilege to serve Arab people. This is a privilege that is not given, that is not offered to everybody. And this is an honor for me. Not only for me, but the name of my parents already.
Tante,
And
kinuha kita, I called the three of you. Yung NBI na papalit sa iyo, pati si Jagger. Si Jagger kasi, total, pag-usapan lang naman din. There were times that he relied more on people that were already old hands there. Napasok siya sa bulsa. Sinabi ko sa kanya straight, drug is still flowing inside the country sa customs. Sabi ko, gusto ko sana sabihin kanina na, di ba naghingi may siya ng baril? Sabi ko, I approve the purchase of firearms and until now, wala ka napatay na isa. So, sabi ko sa kanya, shape up. It is when you are new, you are a babe in the forest, and you begin to rely on people who would whisper that, sir, tutulungan ka namin dito. And when they gain your confidence, you become to rely on what they say until you believe that they are doing the right thing. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, Ritso, ang droga pumapasok pa rin. Gusto ko pumatay ka dyan ng total bakapan kita, hindi ka makulong. Basta droga, barilit, patayin mo. Yan ang usapan eh. Bagay, ikaw wala ka na. Yung pumalit si Distor, okay yan?
is doing
Okay ah.
right, sir.
Hindi corrupt.
Ay, di po, sir.
Yan lang. Go after corruption. Not you being the corrupt, the culprit. Tulungan ninyo ako. Kawawa ang bayan. Naawa ako talaga sa bayan ko. Believe me, my heart bleeds for my country. Yung unabated corruption and with no end in sight, and another election coming up, and you see the same old faces there. So the same old bata-bata, kung sino yung mga tao nila, wala. Patay. Sabi ko nga yung revolutionary government should not be discussed in sub rosa. It should be discussed publicly, including the military. They should be able to say what if the average, if the troops do not want it, they should say so. Kung mayroon rin silang gustong pagbabago, then let us hear them out. Kasi walang ang corruption, left and right talaga. Bahas kisan. Kaya ang problema ng PhilHealth, Dante, pagdating ng panahon, after so many years sa actuarial study, there will be the year that wala ka nang maibigay doon sa mga beneficiaries. Kasi naubos na yung reserva because of this corruption. So you must send these guys to prison. Kasi problema yan. The actuarial study shows that there will at some point in time, wala nang maiwan. Kasi ibayad mo yan sa mga beneficiaries eh. Kaya sabihin mo, pagtawag mo, wag na maraming dala. Sabihin mo, putang ina kayo, magtrabaho kayo, letse kayo. Sabi mo ni Mayor, yayariin. Gusto niya, yariin ko. Pati yung diskumpiyado, ayaw. Bigyan mo ang pangalan kasi pa-assign ko dito. Ulitin ko po, tapos na sabi ni Secretary Roque. Pero gusto kong ulitin, Iligan City Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine, ang areas ng NCR, Bulacan, Batangas, Tacloban, Bacolod ay nasa General Community Quarantine. The rest of the Philippines is under Modified General Community Quarantine. Ngayon, dito sa effect ng COVID sa pag-aral ng ating mga anak, kailangan natin na tulungan, lalo na a tertiary education subsidy for dependents of displaced, non-returning, repatriated or deceased OFWs due to COVID-19. The education subsidy will be given to one college-level beneficiary from a qualified OFW enrolled or is intending to enroll in state universities and colleges, local universities and colleges, and CHED recognized private higher education institutions in the school year 2020. Ang tulong po sa edukasyon sa mga anak nito is a one-time grant of 30,000 pesos. The project will be allotted with the amount of 1 billion, which will benefit about 33,000 students from 33 OFW families. This is a project of the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, and the United Financial Assistance System for Tertiary Education, or UNIFAST, in collaboration with the Department of Labor and Employment. Mga details po nito, kunin lang ninyo sa CHED, sa DOL, o sa OWA. Ang susi talaga sa paglaban sa COVID is, iyon, ingat, maskara, mask, hugas, pati iwas, distancing. Pagka ganon, kayo, pag maganda, bahala ka na dyan, tabihan mo. Pero pag may asawa o palayo ka para malayo sa disgrasya, isali mo yan, ha? May maraming gagong